Welcome to the Love and Marriage Talk. I am Nate, and this is my beloved wife, Esther. How are you feeling today, Annie?
I'm feeling good. It's good to be back home. It's been over just 2 days or a few days, over a week since we posted. But with family needs taking me out of state, I'm happy to be back and be back on the Love and Marriage Talk.
Awesome. Awesome. I'm happy you're back from all the activities that took you away from the family. I am excited. We're back doing this again.
It feels like forever, right?
It does. It does. It definitely feels forever. It's I just it's not the same. It's not the same, and it happens every time we go away for whatever occasion it is. It's just not the same because we're besties, you know. We're besties, and that's what it should be.
You should have just sat in front of the camera and do it.
Do what?
And have the talk without me.
No, it won't be the same. It will not be the same, and that's not what we about. So it will
You
be
can try one day.
it will be a different show. It will be a different show. It would not be love and marriage talk. So I'm glad you're back.
I'm happy to be home.
And our viewers, I am so glad we are back. We do, during our content writing, and we sit down and talk about various of things that we believe it will enhance marriages and relationships. And this time around, I believe what we have lined up is really going to enhance marriages and relationships.
Like always.
Like always.
We try.
Yes. So I am excited we are excited to be here to deliver such content. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. Esther, let's just jump right in.
No breaks today. I like that.
No breaks today. You're feeling good. You're looking beautiful.
Thank you.
I can't stop gazing at you. I mean, and I have missed you. You know, you've only been back for
24 hours.
24 hours. Yes. So I have missed you. So I'm glad we picked the right day to do this. So let's just jump right in.
Miss you too.
Thank you. It's nice to be missed. Thank you. That means I'm doing something right. With that being said, our subject for the day, subject or discussion for the day.
Whenever Nate says subjects, I'm like, oh Lord.
We're back in school. I know.
Like, oh, I'm on break for school. Don't remind me. Not yet.
That's what I do. You know, they always call me to train folks, and I just jump in and it takes me back being in school. So just bear with me.
It's alright. It's acceptable.
All right. So let's jump in.
Yes, so today we decided to talk about some common things, common problems that our relationships and marriages face, and one or two ways that we can solve them. So we know it's a lot.
It's a lot.
We just picked few to talk about today, and we might need a part 2. So just keep staying tuned whilst we share and bring these contents to you. So, Nate, you want me to start or you want to start?
I can start.
Okay.
I can start. So,
Lead the way.
the first one is unforgiveness. Unforgiveness. Personally, when I think about unforgiveness, it's that hurt, right? It's that hurt that you go through in your relationship that just becomes so much overwhelming that there is nothing anyone can say or anyone can plead for you to forgive. But why is that? So that's why we're here. Unforgiveness. Unforgiveness in marriages, unforgiveness in relationship.
So it's amazing how and what unforgiveness can do in our marriages and in our relationships.
Yes.
And like you rightly said, it becomes that thing that you have to do. Nobody can do it for you.
Right.
You have to let it happen. You have to let it be.
Mm-hmm.
Let it go.
Let it go.
I was telling Nate the other time that it's very interesting how we say, oh, forgive and forget. We forget that we are not God, we are human beings.
Yes.
We can forgive, but you can't forget.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's how God has made us.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're talking about forgiveness, unforgiveness,
Mm-hmm.
being one of the common problems that hurts our marriages,
Right.
hurts our relationships.
Mm-hmm.
So Nate, go ahead. Let's talk about what you think about unforgiveness, how it hurts our marriages and our relationships.
I mean, the root cause is not relevant because it could be anything, right? But as long as the couples, right, decide to move on with the relationship or marriage, there are certain actions that has to take place. I truly believe so. So these actions are what we're here to describe.
So let's start from being a Christian.
True.
Or when you believe, right? When you are a believer, you have a
Right.
faith. How many times do you think God forgives us of our sins, right? And He doesn't hold grudges against us.
And how many times do we go back doing the same thing?
And if you are not,
Over and over.
so the answer will be on countless times.
Yes.
Right? And if you're not a Christian and you don't believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many times have you made a mistake or done something to your spouse
Mm-hmm.
wrongly
Mm-hmm.
that you do it over and over and over again?
Right.
Have we asked ourselves that?
Here we are. For marriage couples, unforgiveness should not have any root. We're not asking you to forget the actions that took place. the actions are real. Your memory vividly recalls those actions. But the next part is for you to accept the wrongdoing and feel the need to move on with the relationship.
So in other words, as couples, as we in our marriages and in our relationships,
Right?
when we hurt each other
Mm-hmm.
number of times and we repeat them, what Nate and I are suggesting that we do is talk about it, accept what you have done wrong,
Right?
learn to forgive,
Yes.
and let it go. Because many a times when you don't do that, it builds up the tension.
Right.
And instead of even being better, you be bitter,
Mm.
right?
Say that again.
So instead of you being better, you become bitter
Mm.
because of unforgiveness.
Yes.
So like as we were saying, it becomes how can we say it? Like
A
you
standing block for growth.
yeah, you holding somebody like a prisoner in your heart because you've not forgiven them.
And who does it really hurt though?
And the sad thing is, honestly speaking, we think it hurts the one who is not forgiven.
There you go.
Because guess what? Whoever did something against you, they're living their life, right? They've even forgotten.
Because they've made that open confession
They have apologized
and
to you.
apologized for their actions.
So when you decide not to forgive, you are holding them as a prisoner in your heart.
Mm.
And this is your loved one.
Mm.
Come on now, that's your babe. That's your husband. That's your honey.
That's your wife.
That's your sweetie pie. So why do you get hurt about something that your loved one has done and they have apologized, but you decide to hold on to it and you are now becoming more hurt?
Yes.
Anytime you see them, you are upset.
Yes.
Anytime you set eyes on them, or when there is something that triggers what they did, you're upset because you have not forgiven them. Let's move on. So,
I believe lastly, what needs to be done, your spouse has already apologized for their actions.
Your husband.
That led to the unforgiveness.
Oh, you said your spouse?
Your spouse.
Oh, okay. I don't know why
Just
I heard
playing
your
it
wife.
safe. Playing it safe.
Your better half.
Your better half have already apologized. And for some reason, you are finding it hard to forgive. Forgiveness is one of those actions that
it comes with time.
it comes with time, but you need God. You need a divine intervention. So you need to take it to prayer. Ask God to guide you in that journey of forgiveness.
And if you are not a believer, you can take a day at a time.
A day at a time. Each
Make
day
up your
gets
mind.
better.
Yes, and we think that when you make up your mind that you would forgive, you would forgive.
It gets better by the
It
day.
gets better. They said what time heals, right?
All wounds.
All ones. So there's so many ways that we can learn to forgive and not hold grudges. Take your time. Take a day at a time. We are not saying it doesn't hurt, whatever they did. That's not what we're saying. But the good news is they have accepted what they've done. They know they did wrong. They've talked about it with you. They've apologized.
Yes.
Let it go. If it's going to take you a few days to really let it sink, take your time. But at the end of the day, forgive, so that unforgiveness doesn't become a problem in your marriage.
Well done.
So, which one is the next one?
The next one is secrecy.
Oh my.
Secrecy.
So,
We all have secrets, don't we?
I was just gonna ask you.
We do all have secrets. But the thing about secrecy is it shouldn't have any room in relationship.
So, since everyone have a secret,
Right?
the question any of us can ask is, why can't you have one?
That is a valid question.
So the question is, if people say everybody have secret, why can't I have one? And for some marriage couples to entertain that, that mentality alone is what starts the problem.
I agree with you. But I'm even going to take it to the next step. There is a saying about whatever happens in the darkness
Comes out in the light.
comes out in the light. So the reason why secrecy should not be an attribute or entertain in a relationship
Or marriage.
is because those deeds that are buried
will surely come out
buried
one
in the
day.
dark will surely come out, and you would not have time
To fix it.
to fix it.
So that brings me to this question. A lot of people would say,
They don't know.
the truth
Hurts.
would hurt and it would end my relationship or would end the marriage. But the good news that Nate and I have for you today is, if you think that your spouse knowing the truth about something is going to end that relationship or that marriage,
What do you think the lie would do?
why did you even do it?
That is true.
Don't do it.
Why did you commit those actions?
Yes, because at the end of the day, if you are going to hold it as a secret and you don't want your spouse to know about it because you think it's going to end your relationship or your marriage, 9.99, you shouldn't have done it.
True. I agree.
And we are not saying it's easy to talk about the truth. That's not what we are saying.
It definitely makes you vulnerable.
And
Vulnerability in relationship is attractive. It's sexy. it's awesome.
And aside that, Nate, those who are Christians and those who believe, there is a saying in that great book called the Bible, says, "The truth shall set you free." How many times do you battle in something for so long and you get the opportunity to let it out?
And feel so relieved.
And after you let it out, you feel so relieved.
Yes.
I know someone is out there saying, "Esther, I don't think you know what you're talking about. I don't think you know what damage
this can do to my
the secret that I'm holding on
that
can do to my marriage or
marriage.
relationship. If you knew it, you would not encourage me to share it. So, for that person, what can I tell such a person? Like Nate said, the truth. Revealing the truth opens up another door of intimacy.
Mm-hmm.
And how many times have you thought about, should I tell him or should I tell her? No, I don't think so. Should I or should I not? And you go ahead and say it, and your spouse, and we're talking about true love, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about when the love is strong.
Right.
We're talking about when truly your spouse loves you.
Right.
And the moment you say whatever you are about to say or what you've pondered upon so many weeks,
Mm-hmm.
your spouse says, you know what?
I already know.
Either they say, I already know, I was just waiting for you to say something.
Mm-hmm.
Or they say,
It's all right.
you know what? I am very upset that you did something like that. Trust me, that's not gonna be easy to forget, but I love you. We've come so far, and I can't just let this
True.
part us. And you sitting there, and that cold chill comes over you, like, what?
I love you.
And he comes or she comes and throw his or her arms around you and tell you, I love you, babe. But why would you do something like that?
Right.
And you become so vulnerable, and either you start crying, or I know men would say no, a man does not cry, but some of the men would, yes, would ball up and be crying and share that emotion, and that alone, you know what goes on after that.
Right.
The makeup time, the love making, the having sex, and it's like, oh wow, I didn't even think about this. I thought you were going to throw me out of this house,
Right.
you know. So it pays to be true. It pays to be honest. It pays not to be secrecy, because if you don't talk about it and it comes out at a later time,
It's
or
just
someone else talk about
it's
it,
hard to fix.
it is going to be hard to fix,
Yes.
because they heard it from a third person.
Right.
When you could have swallowed your pride, you could have put the fear aside, because wherever there is love, there is not supposed to be fear.
Right.
Right? So when you know you love your spouse and you know they love you, you shouldn't be keeping secrets, because that can ruin that relationship, that can ruin that marriage. And if you know it's gonna be a secret, please don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't do it. The next one we wanna talk about is lies.
Oh boy.
That is a big one, because lies
Period.
honestly destroy marriages.
It destroys relationships and marriages. Period. There's no twist around it.
And no one wants to be in that environment where it's filled with lies. There is nothing that can be built
Upon lies.
upon lies. Because where there is lies, where goes trust?
There's no trust. You can build anything called trust when you or your spouse lie to each other.
There's no trust.
And you know what bothers me, honey? And I'm sorry if I step on anybody's toes by saying this, or we step on
Right.
anybody's toes by saying this. I have a big issue when people say, oh, it's a small lie. Like, when did lie become small? Every lie is a lie.
A lie is a lie. A lie is a lie.
A lie is a lie. I don't know how much you're gonna sugarcoat it. If you lie to me and I love you so much, what you're doing is you're making me not trust you.
Exactly.
Because I don't know when next you're going to lie to me. I don't know what next I cannot trust. You tell me, oh, Esther, I'm with the guys at this place. We're just having a drink or two. We've not seen each other for a long time because of our work and our marriage life and our family, responsibilities. And I know what I'm thinking. The next thing I know is you really were not
with the guys.
I'm sorry. You could be, you know what I'm talking about, somewhere else. Praise the Lord that my husband is not like that. No, don't try me with that now. No, he's not, and he wouldn't. I'm praying. You know how many times I'll fast and pray about that? Don't even try.
I know.
And vice versa.
Right.
I'm saying, I'm with my girlfriends, or maybe I've not seen them for a long time.
Right.
And I wasn't there. I was somewhere else. Why? Why lie to the person you lay on the same bed with? Why lie to the person you prefer to laugh to? Why lie? And there's nothing such as a small lie.
No, it all has its own effect. So I believe that lie has a way, and it's just grows, right?
You say one, you need to find another one to cover up.
It just grows. It just continues to grow.
Yeah.
And it creates that division, and it's relationship without trust.
It's no relationship.
There's no growth in it. Eventually,
it's gonna die.
It's gonna die off. So I encourage our viewers that while you are committed in building that strong relationship with your significant other, just be mindful. If you have to lie,
then don't do what you're about to do.
Just realize that it has that effect, repercussions, and it's you shouldn't have to walk that journey. You shouldn't have to take that first step. Lies create distrust, and
destroys.
With distrust, the marriage will not exist.
No, it would not. It would not.
So refrain from lying to each other.
And honey, it's amazing that we think as grown-ups, we think as couple, it's a small lie. Oh, I can tell him it's okay. I can tell him I'm doing this, even though I'm not really doing that. And I'll take care of it later. But when our children lie to us, if you do have any, when that teenager tells you, I'm with my friends and we are at the house, and you later on find out that they are at the mall, meeting other friends, when you trusted the household they were going into,
right?
How furious do you become?
You get furious. You do.
How furious? You become upset that your child lied to you.
Yes.
So you think it's okay to lie to your spouse?
Absolutely not.
The spouse that you had the child with, or the spouse that you're raising the child with. It's not me or he. Or they. Sorry.
Absolutely not.
It does not add anything to the relationship.
And in relationship, lies should not have any room.
It shouldn't have a
It
place.
shouldn't have a place. It shouldn't have a pillow to lay on. I mean, because it's one of those areas that any form of lie, if you give room for that, it's just going to grow into something else. You know, it can start with finances, it can start with whatever, and it just gives it room to become something bigger than it should.
And Nate, it's somebody will say, "Hey, why are you guys behaving like holier than thou?" No, that's not it at all. What we're encouraging is, if you find yourself in the habit of lying to your spouse, to your significant other, to the person you love, you are starting a problem that you might not be able to fix in the future. So we are not playing a holier than thou here. No, we are just advising that lying is not one of the things that grows your relationship or adds on good things to your relationship. It will rather bring you down, and it would end that amazing relationship that you have started. So
Dissolve.
it would dissolve it. So
Yes.
if you were thinking of lying about something, don't do it. Don't do that to your spouse, because one way or the other they are going to find out, and when they find out, they are not going to trust you anymore.
And without trust,
You can't build that
you
relationship.
might as well not have any relationship.
And if you do lie, gather the courage.
And
Talk to your spouse, honey.
come clean.
You remember I told you this last week?
I apologize.
I am sorry.
I was hanging out with the girlfriends.
I
was in the store shopping,
really was not doing that.
spending your money.
This is what I was This is what I was doing. I apologize. You forgive me, and just let that unforgiveness not stay there.
Right.
Because the more you lie and they find out, the more they're going to be bitter,
Right.
and that relationship is not going to stand.
And one of the biggest thing is when the mistrust is set in, right? You find one spouse always cautious, right? Paranoid,
On the edge.
on the edge, to the extent where it becomes unbearable.
And they
Because
start fishing out for something because they can trust
they
you.
can trust you. They follow you. They do all that. You have all the
They're
sudden
monitoring you. You've
Change.
created a habit.
change their mindset to be that devious person. All because
You lie.
you lied and they don't trust you. And that shouldn't be a way marriage should be lived.
No,
that,
not at all.
That whole process should not be part of marriage. Next step.
Negativity.
Oh my goodness.
Negativity. Oh God. I cannot. I just cannot have words to explain negativity. Why negativity? And having a spouse who is negative.
Let's go into the Bible. I think this one is worthy of scripture. Therefore, do not be anxious about tomorrow, for tomorrow will be anxious for itself. Sufficient for the day is its own trouble. So here we are. One spouse is just on the edge. Another form of negativity is just being on the edge about everything. You do not see the glass full.
You always seen
Half full.
No, I think they said half empty. Yes. If it is half full, there is positivity. When it's half empty,
There's negativity.
it's like,
Absolutely.
can you at least be happy about something,
Something,
honey?
you know. I mean, can you see the light
At the end of the
tunnel?
tunnel?
You see, and it's living with somebody of that nature can be extremely hard.
Very hard.
Extremely hard.
Very hard because, like Nate rightly read, right? That's in the Bible, but let's bring it to reality.
Mm-hmm.
Every day has its own challenges.
Every single day.
That we do not know until the day is here.
Right.
Until that moment is here. Because we cannot predict what the future is.
Yes.
It's only God who can.
Yes.
So if every day is going to bring about its own challenges and difficulties, having a spouse who is negative is just going to be very difficult. And the question is, how do you deal with something like that? How do you get a spouse, a partner who is so negative to stop being negative and get being positive? So, Nate, you can take, if you are a Christian, if you have faith, what do you think one of the things you can do?
I believe for a partner like that, a spouse of that nature, you pretty much have to get them involved with church activities.
Okay.
As a believer.
And praying for them.
Because usually when they are in a circle of friends, circle of people of the same faith, that negativity has a way of
diminishing.
It's been suppressed.
Okay.
So it doesn't. You cannot be in among a group of people and just be so negative. You know, it just the audience suck that away from you. So eventually you become much better person. Yeah.
And if you are not in church or if you're not a Christian, I think that if you have a spouse who is negative, does not see positivity any way, any form, any shape, you might want to start surrounding them with people who are positive. So, if you have friends who are positive,
right?
If you have friends who have almost the same setting like you do have, it might not be the same from start to finish.
Right.
But they might be married, they might be in a relationship, they might be going through their own stuff, but they're still positive.
Right.
Know that it's gonna be okay tomorrow. Know that, hey, I don't know what tomorrow brings, but I'ma still keep going. We will still keep going. You might want to surround your spouse with somebody like that.
Yes.
With group people like that. Instead of maybe spending the time with him by yourself, because of course, that's how they are. You might want to let other people come in, not really telling them that, hey, he is negative and I want you to influence him. No, that is something that, or she is negative and I want to influence her. No, you don't talk about that. You use your wisdom to kind of navigate that.
And to add on to what Esther explained and stated, such a person with these negative attributes, character, demeanor, you do not address them on one-on-one
directly,
because you're not gonna do anything to build or enhance that character of theirs.
Yeah, they'll feel like they're being attacked.
Yes,
And
yes.
that's why I said to navigate around that, you don't even tell your group of friends, hey, this is what I'm trying to do. Nature's very negative, and I want you to influence him with some of your positivity. No,
So like he comes out of the shell.
No, you don't do that. You don't even talk about that. You use your wisdom. If you are a wife, you have tons of wisdom. You are the woman. Build that home. Build that family. If you are the man, you are the leader. Lead and bring around that positivity around your wife, with letting your friends or your circles or your family or whoever you think is positive,
Yes,
be around, and little by little, day by day, hopefully that can change.
as difficult as it may seem, I believe that action is something that can be resolved, with positive influence. That action, you can find your significant other, gradually changing their mindsets, because that action has everything to do with their mindset.
Yes.
And it can be turned around for the good of the marriage.
And I think everybody every now and then might have a sense of negativity.
Yeah.
When certain things are happening
And not
you are
going your way.
not going your way, or it's not, factually speaking, you're like, oh no, I don't think this is gonna work.
And to add on to it, Esther, it's those instances only happens when you've tried and tried. You've tried and tried. I mean, I quite remember parallel parking when my early youth, when I was learning how to drive, right? And it took me a while to finally get it, but I was like, no, I'm never gonna get this. I'm never gonna get this, because when you've tried and tried and tried and tried and it's not working, you gradually tend to start having those negative attributes.
Yes. And like I was saying, when it is absolutely like it's not happening, things are not changing. Not that you were negative, but looking at the facts and looking at the signs, you're like, this is not happening. Talk to each other.
Right.
Talk about it. Bounce off each other. And Nate and I do that all the time. Like, if something is not working, I remember when we're having those technical difficulties, I'm like, oh my goodness, we are excited about this, and what are we gonna do to fix this? Is this gonna work? What do we need to buy something else? And we bounce off each other, and we finally, like Nate said, we work together, and not being negative,
Right.
not letting that negativity stay, right? You have to find a room for it. Let it go. You need to cover it with positivity.
Yes.
And keep trying, and talk with each other, just each other.
Yes.
And when you think that each other is not working, definitely you can bring a third person that you trust, and both of you know that they can have some source of positivity to kind of bring you out of that swamp or that circle that you have gotten yourself into.
Well stated.
So it's natural. It comes. Sometimes certain situations you might feel that this is not gonna work and you be negative. But what we are encouraging is, when it does happen, or when you have a spouse who is truly negative, don't give up. Talk about it. You don't need to be always direct about it. Find some resources to help, and pray about it if you have faith. If you don't, and even vice versa, or together you have faith, still surround yourself with people who are positive.
That's it.
So,
Our last subject or
not discussion. Not discussion. So the last problem that can be created in marriage needs to just have his teaching hat on. this evening, so everything is subject.
The last
But-
problem is sex.
So,
Sex.
I would take this one
Are you sure?
and read
Can you handle it?
a Bible verse about it.
Ooh.
And I'm so passionate about it.
Ooh.
So, sex. So we are saying that sex can be one of the problems. Let's go. How beautiful you are. Now, I'll let Nate take that so that I can enjoy him reading. So,
Song of
go
Solomon
ahead.
7 verse 6. How beautiful you are, and how pleasant, my love, with your delights. Your stature is like that of a palm, and the breast like cluster of fruit. There.
What's wrong, though? You don't want to read it again?
Sex.
It sounds very good.
Honey,
Yes.
just get yourself together.
How pleasant. How I am delight.
Get yourself together.
How my stature is like that of the pound. Go ahead. Go ahead. So yes, Songs of Solomon is one of the beautiful books I love in the Bible. I love to read it. We love to read it. And it's real. Okay. So, sex. That verse you just read. It's just a husband who is talking to the wife, showing how excited he is before they even have sex,
Before they even make love.
before they get intimate.
There we go.
So, all the three, you can fix it however you want. But
Appreciating the beauty of your spouse.
talking about it.
Talking about it. Lavishing on them before you even get intimate. I believe sex should not be a hindrance that causes the marriage to fail. Sex.
All bring problems in the marriage.
Marriage.
Okay, so listen. I have not heard it. I don't know how many people have heard it. That couples having problems because they are desiring each other to have sex, make love, be intimate. Have you heard anything like that before?
Absolutely not.
But how many times do we hear that?
Lack of that.
Oh, she's not.
She's not.
She's not letting me. She's not even giving me the attention.
And it's sometimes not a she.
He's not even
He is
allowing
not.
us to.
He's not even
He's
thinking
not
about
giving
it.
me the attention. He's not. He comes home and he's always tired.
He's focused on something else.
He's focused on his job. I'm not a priority. He doesn't even see me. That causes problem in the marriage.
Yes.
She doesn't like me to touch her. She works so hard. She comes home, she's so tired. She don't want to do anything aside cooking and taking care of the kids. Causes problem. Oh, he's never home. Anytime I'm ready
Right.
and I am all dressed up, smelling good and waiting for my hobby, he's not coming home until what time? Brings problem. Why?
Lack of being desirable.
Lack of having each other. What does the Bible says? You are one. Your body is his body is yours. So, lack of sex, lack of intimacy, lack of giving yourself to each other causes problem in marriage.
Yes.
So, how do you solve it? Make yourself available.
Make yourself available. Make time.
Do not deprive each other.
Make time for intimacy.
Make time for each other. Love on each other. Go pick the Bible. Even if you don't like reading the Bible, please go read Songs of Solomon.
This is the part marriage couples can
You would
truly
enjoy.
appreciate and enjoy. I believe that it was right on point.
And let me tell you something. We were just sitting here saying lack of you being desired, right? Lack of you being wanted.
Right.
So, when I came from travel on Sunday, you know what I was expecting? I got it anyways. But my lovely husband texting me, can't wait to see you. I can't wait to hold you. I miss you. And my mind is already like, oh Lord, I need to be prepared because he misses me. So, Nate is so tired. He went to work, went to church, serve at church, coming to DC to pick me up, and getting home, eating, and this man is as tired as what? And in my head, I'm like, he misses me. He can't wait to hold me. Am I really going to have some attention? I got some attention. But what I'm saying or what we're saying is that desire, that knowing that your spouse desires you,
Mm-hmm.
it puts you on cloud nine before even anything else happens.
That is true.
It makes you feel that, hey, I'm so important. Really? Oh my goodness, I can't wait to be in his arms. That should not be taken away from any spouse.
And you know what? We can even talk about that aspect of being desirable. We tend to put that emphasis on the wife. Put the lingerie on, get your hair done.
Or put your bonnet on, look sexy.
Look sexy,
get
attractive.
your hair,
All that is good. But what about the husband? The
you
man?
need to do the same thing.
You have to have your hair nicely grown, your
and
beard
you looking
nicely
sexy
grown,
this evening.
And you have to look desirable. Thank you. You look beautiful. You look gorgeous.
Okay, let's try again. You looking sexy this evening, honey.
Thank you, my love.
Very handsome.
You look very beautiful and elegant and lovely.
Desirable. Being desirable.
It goes both ways.
It goes a long way.
Yes.
And it, like we said, maybe you can comment later on if you do some research on marriages that are failing because they give themselves to each other, loving on each other, having sex anytime they want, making love, making time for intimacy, desiring each other. If you find that out, let us know. We would want to know. But we have not found that. Marriages, couples who are allowing that to take place is causing problem. No, we have not. So, these 5 things that we've talked about today are very important to pay attention to.
Yes.
What did we talk about?
We talked about, let's start from the bottom up, sex.
We talk about lies.
Negativity.
We talk about secrecy. And unforgiveness.
Yes.
So, as you already in this week, as you go about your business, please look at these 5 things. See where you fall short.
Right.
Work on it. It's not gonna be a day's work. We know that.
Right.
It will take time. But trust me, when you start working on it and your spouse sees that, that alone is a turn on for your spouse. Really? Are you kidding me? I thought we made love yesterday. Oh yeah, honey. Yeah. What you got for me today?
There we go.
You forgiving me? Are you serious?
Thank you very much.
That intimacy is growing. Like,
And all of a sudden, that vacancy, that has been created in that relationship.
it's gonna be filled.
It's that being filled.
And it's gonna be filled with love. You want to start with talking about secrets once a week, twice a month, unleashing those, opening up those secrets. Gradually do that. Get it off your chest. Forgive so that you can have smile on your face.
Life.
And have life.
Yes.
And enjoy your life. Don't hold anybody as a prisoner in your heart because you haven't forgiven them.
Yes.
That can make you sick. That can give you some depression. That can give your blood pressure goes up. You see them, you're upset. You don't need that. That's your loved one. That's your husband. That's your wife. That's your sweetheart. That's the person you want to marry.
Yes.
Look at these things. Work on them. Nate and I think it would help you. We're working on ours every time we get an opportunity to. And we believe that if you do work on yours, it will take you a long way. And your relationship, your marriages will blossom. And you would get there, but you need to do the work.
Yes. Absolutely. This is going to enhance your relationship.
Oh my goodness. We did not even say that. Okay, Nate, continue. I'm sorry.
This is going to enhance your relationship, and we believe that longevity we expect, we want, we praying for.
We hoping for.
Your marriage is going to flourish.
Yes.
Once you recognize all these common areas that
common problems, yes.
that brings, issues
yes.
in relationship and marriages.
And if you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe so that when we share, you get notified and you be able to watch us.
There you go.
If you have not shared with other friends, go ahead and do that.
Sharing is caring.
You need to share. Don't keep it to yourself. Everybody has different listening skills.
Yes.
Something that you might not have heard or paid attention to us, somebody might have heard and taken notice of.
And we all are experiencing different areas of issues in our relationships.
Yes, in our relationship. We are in different levels in our relationships. So, certain things you might have graduated from,
right?
Somebody is working on.
Yes.
So please share, comment, subscribe, and we appreciate you spending your time to view us. We love you. God bless you, Nate.
And thanks for tuning in. See you on the next episode.
Have a blessed week.
Bye-bye.